Welcome to Mainland Television, Nelson's local regional television station. I'm Graham O'Brien, and coming up today, Kaiteri business owner found dead in Bali, is Nelson Arts Council looking for a fresh canvas, new MRI on cards for DHB, Conservation Week events looming, major blunder at local school, backpack found in river, festival includes free events. Director and shareholder of a New Zealand company called Alice Tourism Properties, which owns Torlease Coastal Motels in Kaiteri, has been found with his throat slashed in Bali. Alice had purchased the motels in 2011. Robert Calvin Ellis's body was discovered wrapped in a plastic sheet and a bed cover on Tuesday morning local time in a rice field near Sedang village. Police believe Ellis, aged 60, was killed on Monday local time in the Bidang district. The Bidang police chief has been reported as saying Alice's wife of 20 years, Noor, was arrested, as well as a man she is alleged to have hired to kill Alice. Noor Alice is accused of hiring her maid's boyfriend to kill her husband, who was a dual Australian and British passport holder. According to Balinese police, she has confessed to the crime, blaming marital problems starting from money problems to woman problems. She is in custody along with two maids and one of the maids' boyfriends, who was arrested Tuesday of this week while trying to flee to the neighbourhood island of Lombok. Alice was killed sometime, police estimate, between last Sunday night and Monday early morning. On the same morning, the body was disposed of. With the refinery in voluntary liquidation, we went there and spoke with the Arts Council Chair Ian Bowell to give us some background on the long-running Nelson Arts Council.
I'm Ian, Chair of the Arts Council, have been Chair for the last year, have been on the Council for the last 2 years. So a quick background about Arts Council. We've been running for just over 4 decades now, and our main function is to support and encourage people to be engaged in the arts within the Nelson region. And so that's all the arts, just not the fine arts, but performing arts as well, so dance, theatre, and it's what we want to do is create the engagement so as many people as possible can be involved in the arts. We're run by volunteers, but we do have paid employees, and the main man for Arts Council is Lloyd Harwood. So he's the Arts Council manager, and he's the man on the ground that's making these connections and giving support to our arts community.
And after the meeting with the Council Wednesday this week, Manager Lloyd Harwood tells us where to from here for the Arts Council and the upcoming exhibitions that artists have been working towards for over a year.
Well, recent events, what's happened is basically the refinery art space has been run by the Kahurangi Employment Trust for the last 10 years, and they've done a great job, and they've really built the space up to it's a much valued space by artists and wider community. Sadly, on Friday they had to fold, which left the future of the gallery in jeopardy, looking at basically having the doors closed. So Arts Council stepped in really to support artists and groups that have shows booked within the space. And to do that, we had to go and meet with Council, and we actually went yesterday and had a very productive meeting with Council, who we found were very supportive of the space. They appreciated what a wonderful facility it is and how much it is valued by the community. So we've basically got a temporary fix where Arts Council are just stepping in really as a caretaker role to work with those artists that are coming in, because the Kahurangi staff are no longer here. And I know for a fact that the artists that are coming in next week have been working over a year towards their shows, and have obviously, apart from the time, they've also sort of incurred a lot of expenses for framing and things like that. So it's crucial that they do actually get their chance in the limelight. And other important shows coming up too, like we have the NMIT Graduates Show. That's been planned for a long time, obviously, and that's sort of taking us into the summer sort of busy period with a lot of visitors coming. And one of the biggest tourist attractions here, or one of the shows that a lot of the tourists do like to come to, is the Centre of Fine Woodwork end of year show. which goes over the summer period, Christmas summer period, so that's an important show. So, as I said, the council have been agreeable to us stepping in that temporary role. It is a short-term fix, and we are going to be meeting with council again to sort of discuss a longer-term plan for the gallery. But for the time being, rest assured that the show will go on.
Thanks, Ian and Lloyd, for your time. We wish you all the best. It's a great place here, and we hope that it continues. Thanks. Pacific Radiology Group and Nelson Marlborough District Health Board have reached an agreement to site a new MRI at Wairau Hospital early next year. The agreement calls for a portable building to be attached to the radiology department, where private and public patients will have access to the MRI scans. The new MRI service is expected to be operational from February 2015. The scanner will be operated by PRG, and Nelson Marlborough DHB will have 4 half-day sessions per week out of 10 sessions. This increases the MRI capacity of the district by 80%, as the DHB has 5 sessions per week in Nelson. Hospitals MRI Nelson Marlborough DHB Chief Executive Chris Fleming said that this public-private partnership with the DHB and Pacific Radiology will benefit people across the district by relieving the growing backlog and reducing waiting times for an MRI. Discover the world where you live is the theme of this year's Conservation Week, kicking off from Saturday the 1st to Sunday the 9th of November. DOC is encouraging people to get out and about and enjoy the amazing world that is on their doorstep. The Nelson Tasman region is full of great places and hidden treasures. With summer on its way, it's a great time to get out and enjoy your favourite places or discover some new ones. DOC has organised a few events to help make it easy. An open day at the Kaiteri Mountain Bike Park from 12 noon to 5 p.m. on Saturday the 1st of November gives the people a chance to try out mountain biking or pick up some tips and techniques from experienced riders. There are tracks for beginner, intermediate and advanced riders. A qualified technician will be providing free bike checks. On Sunday the 9th of November there will be a fun afternoon tramp with DOC and Project Janzoon staff through the Canaan Downs area of Abel Tasman National Park to Wainui Hut. This is a safe and easy way to take your kids tramping. Bookings are required. Another way to discover the world where you live is to take part in the Discovery Treasure Hunt. With 5 different versions, there's a treasure hunt to suit everyone, whether they prefer to explore online or in the mountains. Entry forms will be available on the Conservation Week website and at DOC Visitor Information Centres from Friday the 24th of October. These need to be completed by the Monday the 10th of November to be in the draw to win great prizes. The Big Beach Cleanup also falls in Conservation Week this year, starting from 10 a.m. on Saturday the 1st of November. Around 50 beaches between Mahau and Cable Bay will be cleaned by teams of volunteers. This event is run by DOC in partnership with Nelson City Council, Tasman District Council and NELMAC. Last year, over 350 volunteers collected 3.5 tonnes of rubbish from a staggering 293 kilometres of beach. You can find out more on the Conservation Week website www.conservationweek.org.nz. It's been 6 years since Major Blunder was at Stoke School. However, this week it was all on when we caught up with the troops who make it their business to make history with the help of school children. James went along to speak with the Major and capture some of the action happening on the field.
Hello, I'm here today with Major Blunder. So, what are we doing here today?
Today we're igniting the Great War for Stoke School. We've already done our presentation, wherein we have introduced the students to the start of World War I, the Great War. Setting off obviously with the assassination of the Archduke and then the steady cascade to actual war itself, which has ended with the Battle of Mons, and now the students are off having morning tea, as are the rest of the chaps, you know. They do need to water themselves somewhat on a warm day like today. And then out here we will be fighting a battle. Not necessarily the Battle of Mons. I have no idea what will be going through the minds of the children. I suspect it will be more a case of, gosh, this is fun.
Yeah, when I was younger I did something like this and it was great fun, I absolutely loved it. So there's also the learning side to it. It's not all about them running around hitting each other with cardboard and stuff. So what do you think the kids will get out of all this?
Well, the target is to make them ask questions. Because of course they think they know everything because they're children and they just don't know how much they don't know. There are no stupid questions that they ask. We get some quite bizarre ones, but they don't ask stupid questions because they don't know any better. They just don't know. So we answer them. Even the more common questions like, were you in the war? I'm sorry, I'm not quite that old. Have you ever been shot? No. Have you ever shot anybody? I can't tell you that. That sort of thing. But they also ask weird ones like, at the front, did they get hot soup? Which was quite concerning for my daughter's class. They were really concerned that they might not get hot soup. So that went down the rabbit hole of, yes, but it tasted of kerosene. Oh, why did it taste of kerosene? Because it was carried up in kerosene tins. It hadn't been washed out properly. And we just went off on a little tangent and came back in and went back. It was marvellous.
Wow. So as you're in charge today, are there any special plans for the battle, or would you not be allowed to tell us with all the secret plans going on?
Secret plans, what? No, in fact it is quite open to interpretation, but what we'll be doing next is dying by the numbers. Everybody gets a number and nobody knows what the number is, and you'll see them swapping numbers with their mates. Oh, I don't like 3, can I have 1? And they do, it's marvellous. And then it's explained to them and they're all lined up, and we've placed machine gunners at one end of the field, and all they have to do is advance at a steady pace and get to the trench line where the machine gunners are. And you bellow numbers at random, and when you bellow the number they fall down. Now the first one they think is kind of funny, because they've fallen down, not me. By the time you get to the third number, they're starting to take it quite seriously, because there are fewer and fewer of them left and they can see the holes that are developing in their lines. And then you drop a trench mortar on them and take out an entire section, and it's, that's a bit serious. And if they do manage to get to the trench line intact, you can then inform them, right, all you have to do now is get through the barbed wire that hasn't been cut by the artillery because they've been firing too long or too short, or basically they've missed. So once we've done dying by the numbers and a bit of training so they know what they're doing, because these things need to be used properly. You must hold it by the blunt end, because if you hold it by the other end, except between thumb and forefinger, you'll chop your fingers off. So you hold it by the blunt end, it being a rolled up newspaper. As you can see, circular. This is the Mark IV as opposed to the Mark IVA, which is somewhat smaller and is possibly what they've made here, or they may be going for the Mark I.
Okay.
Once we've trained them, then we lead them through a battle, and they learn to use these things, or at least to respond to them. So a double blast is regroup, a single long one is charge.
Oh, I'm sure they all love it when they get to charge though.
Oh yes, yes they do. I have yet to see a line that actually arrives as a line without somebody going hell for leather to get at the enemy and then promptly being run through, which is what we warn them, but they don't listen.
Yeah, but that's the fun
they're
of
so
it.
enthusiastic.
Okay, so as you're here now, it's been 6 years since you were here before. So you go around a lot of the local schools, but how often do you tend to do it all?
Well, on average now, just under every 4 weeks, or it might actually be down to once every 3 weeks, we get out and fight pacifist battles. That's rolled up newspapers against grown-ups, because that's what we really do. That's the core of what we're about. It's a performance. It's a lot of fun. It's grown-ups playing and being daft in public and getting covered in flour and having great fun doing it. Excuse me, just natural reaction.
Okay, well, obviously this doesn't come for free. Like, you must need money for this. Are there any kind of
Yes,
fundraisers
we
and
do.
stuff?
We sell raffle tickets because we can't get funders. We've been funded once, I must say, by a pub charity. It was absolutely marvellous. That was Battle of Trafalgar in 2005. But after that, we've sold sausages, we've sold raffles, we've collected aluminium cans, held garage sales, you name it. We do the fundraising ourselves.
Oh, awesome. Well, I'll definitely advise people to try and come down to it, because it seems like it'd be absolutely great fun to do. And thank you for your time for doing this interview.
Marvellous. Be sure to stick around for what comes next.
Oh yes, can't wait for it. Thank you.
Tasman police are trying to establish the circumstances that have led to a backpack and sleeping bag discovered by a tramper submerged in a river in the Mount Angeles area of Nelson Lakes on Wednesday night. A small search and rescue team have gone into the area to check sign-in books at the huts on the track to discover what may have happened before police rescuers commit thousands of dollars and resources into a full-scale search of the area. Police are asking anyone who has lost a backpack in the area or may have other information that could identify the backpack's owner to contact Nelson Police on 03 546 3840. Schools have been strutting their stuff during the Nelson Arts Festival on Stage 1 at Nelson's top of Trafalgar Street in the 1903 Square venue during lunchtimes. Mainland sent a crew down there to capture some of the free performances of what Nelson's children have put together. After the break, we'll bring you the latest weather update and some events and happenings coming up from around the region.